Hello, Kingdom. Now we're just going to pull some cards out of the Lenormand here and see what messages Jehovah wants to bring up. Jehovah, messages here. Messages here. Well, yikety yikes. Oh, you naughty, naughty Empress. You know, I really feel like this is very much past energy. This is the self-regret, self-harm behaviors that are coming up. The fear of abandonment, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being judged, put you in places, put you in people, put you in things that did not serve you any justice. And 29 is there to give you that version of 1111 and to reflect in the mirror, in the window here, the passageway, that portal of darkness to light. To understand that, you know what, this is not who I am. That's not who I was. I don't want to be that person anymore. That was me and my true light being completely trafficked in my flesh. Like I was a slave to Egypt then, and now I'm trying to be free. The desire to be free, 111 is there, and you will be free. And when you are free, you will be freed indeed. Okay, you looked outside of your own heart, your own nucleus to your soul, your own temple, your own kingdom, your own spirit, to find validation of the world, to be accepted, to be loved, so you wouldn't have to be alone. You wouldn't have to face the internal fears that, honey, are still there. They're always there. They're there until you acknowledge them, and then you decide to kick them out. Okay, and then there's this awesome dude named Jesus who's the garbage man today, and he begins to take the trash out for you. So it's like the trash is taking itself out, and ain't that so nice? So what do we do when the trash is our Old Testament? Are you going to continue holding on to it like all of those other egos that you continue to allow in, that you settled less for, that you found yourself in the middle of the night at their house, that you woke up the next morning hating yourself because you fucked them when you didn't want to anyway, but you weren't ready to confront them. You weren't ready to say no. Even Noah was directed to load more clean spirits in his vessel than unclean spirits because they would become too powerful and they would overcome. So what happens when our Old Testament needs to be washed anew? 2, 3, 4, there's that ascension. All you have to do is open the front door. Say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to get everything washed away from me. I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to operate out of my ego. I don't want to operate out of my flesh possessions, because as my true light source, as the true spirit being in my heart, I don't need any of this. 1 John 2:15 tells us to deny the world and anything in it, including ourselves, including our own flesh. It is just our elements, our scientific test tube that traffics our whole spirit. And when it overcomes our spirit, we are in the sleep mode. The veil has yet to be ripped off that Isaiah 25:7 speaks about. And the sleep mode keeps us unawakened, when really heaven is here on earth and we can make it as crowded as we choose to. And this is why spiritual awakening happens, is to realize this journey of self, to realize this journey of self-forgiveness and the path that you must take. You are the one that allowed all of that to happen. You are the one that decided to stay there at their house. You are the one that decided to mess with them, even though you were not emotionally okay to be messed with. You were not in control. And I see you, and you're like, me? She's not talking about me. And oh God, I feel attacked. Honey, this is just acceptance. This is just that acknowledgement and saying, okay, I did do that. And I have to unload my ark the exact way that it was loaded. So I have to look at these last several things that I did to hurt my heart even more and unpack those first before I can bring up the true traumas within to be risen above, to come to death's surface, because oxygen is an acid former. It's only going to kill it off. But what happens if you don't have a shield of protection of holy water when this oxygen comes up to death's surface here? The sun will burn you to a crisp, which is why the water is there, this door, this passageway, the window itself, to protect you and help you see clearly. You have a choice of how you'd like to operate. And you have a choice of how you'd like to project yourself from the inside out. Everything that this card represents right here that we just spoke of is because that's how you felt in your heart, the lack of what you felt in your heart. And now you have this amazing faith opportunity to move yourself in the right direction. That 1111 is here. And if you decide to operate out of your New Testament, you have a whole new canvas to paint. And that is beautiful. And it's yours, and it's good. It's in your favor. All of this will be let go and forgiven, but you are the one that has to say yes. You are the one that has to be ready to let go of it. And look at this, there's so much room. So much room. Let's see what else is here, Lord. Where does this Empress want to go on this journey and moving forward here? Let's see. Look at this. So we have that 29, 555 there. Shit needs to change, right? 29, 11, 11 within your 40. And honey, this is the mask that you were wearing. We talked about Isaiah 25:7. The Lord is going to rip the veil off of all nations inside of you. Your kings and your queens. Your inner boy, your inner girl, your inner teenagers, your past, which has no room in the future. But you need to be able to accept that part of you, take acknowledgement of duality, and be able to move on in the right direction that you'd like to. Remember, you're on this negative aspect of this, looking at the positive, looking at this new generation for yourself as long as you choose. And this is how everybody sees you. This is how we all look at each other. But we forget to see the true eyes that be here. Our third eye, our star, our inner children, then reflect to the left, to the inside of the moon there. That infinity comes back around within our inner strength and channels back to the sun. Okay, this is our moon, our sun, and then our third eye looks in while it also looks out, because Jesus doesn't care. God doesn't care about how you look on the outside. It's about how you look on the inside of your heart here. Okay, 1111 is there, and then we have 40, and 40 in gematria by way of Hebrew goes back to the hanged man. That's Psalm 119 of the meme. Water has memory and is only going to continue producing more no matter what you put in your water here. Is your water toxic? Are you feeding it negative chemicals and ions and energies every single time that you fuck someone because you cannot feel alone with your own water? That cleansing of the flood must happen if that hanged man is here. You're so tired of suffering, Divine Feminine. You are so tired of suffering, and all you have to do is just get out of your own way. You have to rip the own mask off, and you'll be able to see all versions of yourself. Choose which direction by way of God's will and his saving of grace by grace through faith for you to move you on in the right direction here. That is so beautiful. You are the one that's in control. You are the one that has the choice. No one else can experience your vessel. Why are you giving everyone else free tickets? 811. Thank you, Lord. Last card here. Last card here. Last card here. This future illusion ripping off. Let's see here, these two cards here. Look at that, 23. Well, here's our 23 chromosomes. And when you're wearing a mask, he's going to come by like a thief in the night and show you really what's up. The mice are here, and what do? They steal and they steal and they steal a little bit over time, but then they gain a huge pile of what was not theirs to begin with. And who's in charge of the mask here? The father of lives versus the father of truth that's trying to come in and rescue you. Okay, 23 leads back to that 5, that divine union, that Hierophant energy with 1111. You're really being tested right now about these true ethics and codes of yourself and these morals that you were never doing first out of self-respect. These self-harm behaviors need to stop, and your true self behaviors need to come out and up and rise above. So you're not allowing yourself to be tricked and fooled here. What was this card? 12. Look at this negative news. Here's this revelations, but you must take acknowledgement for what is yours, dear. You are the only one to end your own suffering. That 12 is right there within your own Empress energy. Bottom of the deck, and we're going to call it 15. The strength of the bear. 5 plus 1 is 6. 3, you have good news and bad news to choose from as you make that lover's decision. You have the strength overall, and it is your choice to choose.